Picture this. You've prayed, hoped, and even sacrificed, but despite your best efforts, your kingdom spouse still seems out of reach. You may be wondering, why hasn't Allah sent you the person who would complete your life yet? If you've ever asked yourself this question, know that the answer is not as simple as it seems. In reality, Allah sends you powerful signs, but these signs are sometimes hidden in moments of frustration, loneliness, and waiting. But why? And how can we recognize these hidden signs before it's too late? Stay with us, because today you will discover the deep reasons why you have not yet met your soulmate and how these signs may actually be blessings in disguise. Ready to discover Allah's plan for your love life? Let's get started. 1. The right time has not yet arrived. In the quest that many of us know so well, that of looking for a kingdom spouse, it is easy to feel discouraged when things seem not to be moving forward. You may be wondering why Allah hasn't yet sent you that person who you think will complete your life. You've prayed, hoped, worked on yourself, and yet it seems like nothing is happening. But are you sure that this delay is not, in reality, a divine sign? It's no coincidence that you find yourself at this crossroads, uncertain and perhaps even frustrated. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, knows the exact moment when you will be ready for such a precious blessing as marriage. You need to understand that sometimes what seems like a delay to you is actually an act of divine mercy. Allah is preparing you for what is to come, protecting you from challenges that might arise if you are not yet in the right spiritual or emotional place. Islam teaches us that everything has a perfect time, a divinely ordained time. Waiting can be a form of purification. It is a time to focus on one's own relationship with Allah, to strengthen oneself spiritually, and to prepare oneself internally to receive the other. Perhaps Allah is waiting to see your deeper commitment to prayer, your improvement in character, or your ability to serve and care for others before He will introduce you to the other soul destined for you. Therein lies the beauty of faith, understanding that everything is done according to Allah's perfect plan. Every second of waiting, every moment of doubt, is an opportunity for you to strengthen your spiritual connection with Him. Rather than seeing the wait as frustration, try to see it as preparation, a call from Allah to be the best version of yourself, ready to welcome this great blessing of marriage. In the silence of waiting, Allah works on you, shaping you for what you deserve. 2. You are not yet ready to welcome this person into your life. There is one aspect of marriage that many overlook when embarking on this quest: the inner state of the individual. Allah, in His great wisdom, knows perfectly well when we are truly ready to enter into such a sacred and deep relationship. Marriage is not simply a social act or an emotional union between two people. It is a spiritual encounter, a sacred pact before Allah, a partnership where souls support each other, where unconditional love and sacrifice are not empty words, but commitments deeply rooted in each person's heart. Allah, as the perfect guide, sees beyond what we perceive. Sometimes the sign He sends you is simple. You must first prepare yourself internally. If you feel doubts, fears, or if you are not yet ready to offer everything that an Islamic marriage requires, it is a sign that the preparation stage is still in progress. Perhaps you still need to cultivate unconditional love in your heart, learn to give without expectation, and understand that an authentic marriage in Islam requires constant spiritual and emotional growth. Perhaps you are still seeking stability in your relationship with Allah, in your professional goals, or even in your own personal growth. This is not a sign that you are not meant for this marriage, but rather that this is the time for you to elevate yourself, purify yourself, and become the one you want to attract. Allah is preparing you to be a blessing to others, to be the one who will bring peace, support, and love into the life of your future spouse. Think about this. Perhaps Allah is waiting for you to reach a certain level of inner tranquility and spiritual understanding before offering you the opportunity to experience such a union. Marriage is a mirror, and sometimes it takes work on yourself to be able to reflect the love and peace that a true partner can offer. This preparation is not a delay, but an act of divine mercy to enable you to be fully ready to welcome this blessing. 3. A more balanced marriage requires deep spiritual preparation. In Islam, marriage is much more than a simple contract between two people. It represents a sunnah, a noble path, an act of devotion to Allah. But this is not limited to a union of two souls. It's a test of faith. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, knows that the challenges of a marriage can be many and difficult, and He prepares you for these trials in subtle ways. If you are going through a period of waiting, know that it is not a delay, but a divine process of purification and spiritual preparation. A balanced marriage in Islam is not based solely on mutual attraction or material aspects, but on a deep understanding of spiritual responsibilities. Each partner has a very specific role in the harmony of the couple, and these roles are not always intuitive. They are taught by Allah and revealed in the practices of our faith. Marriage requires sacrifice, patience, and a faith that goes beyond simple obedience to external rules. Allah wants you to be spiritually strong and centered to carry out these tasks with kindness, respect, and love. It is possible that during this time when you feel distant from your kingdom spouse, Allah is calling you into a deeper connection with Him. This intimate relationship with Allah is the foundation of every healthy human relationship, and without it, even the most harmonious marriage can falter. You may be called to strengthen your faith, immerse yourself further in the teachings about marriage and the Hadith, understand more deeply the role each spouse should play, and seek to balance your heart and soul before committing to another person. Signs from Allah can manifest themselves in different forms: an intensification of your desire for prayer, a thirst to read the Prophet's teachings on marriage, or even an attraction to discussions and readings that strengthen your understanding of what Islam expects from true marriage. Each stage of your spiritual development brings you closer to the inner balance necessary to maintain a healthy and balanced relationship. These signs are not only calls for patience, but for spiritual preparation, purification of the heart, and the construction of a solid and mature faith, essential for building a lasting and loving union. 4. There may be a lesson to learn. Before finding your partner, life is full of lessons, and even in the quest for marriage, each trial carries with it an important lesson. If you feel like you're going in circles, feeling stuck, or constantly facing obstacles in your search, chances are Allah is teaching you something fundamental to your journey. This is not a coincidence. This is a call for reflection, a time when you may need to reevaluate what you really want from marriage. Perhaps Allah wants you to learn to detach yourself from worldly expectations, those superficial standards that are based on appearance, social status, or what society values as perfect. True marriage, the one that Islam teaches us, is not based on external factors, but on spiritual compatibility, honesty, and a deep commitment to Allah. Modern society tends to promote a romantic and idealistic view of marriage, but Allah calls us to see beyond appearances and understand the very essence of a sacred partnership. In your waiting, perhaps you need to learn to rethink your criteria. You may have a clear idea of what your future husband or wife should look like, but Allah may guide you to revise that vision. The importance of a healthy, lasting relationship lies not in external attributes, but in the ability of both individuals to support each other, to be loyal, to develop spiritually together. Perhaps Allah is calling you to understand that spiritual compatibility and shared faith are far more important than material or superficial criteria. You may also be faced with deeper lessons: patience, humility, and honesty. Sometimes Allah tests us to see if we have the wisdom to understand that the most lasting relationships are not those built on immediate or selfish desires, but on a solid foundation of mutual respect, common faith, and understanding. He might be teaching you to be willing to compromise, to offer without expectation, and to put the other person's needs before your own. These lessons, although sometimes difficult to accept, are crucial in preparing your heart and mind to welcome a blessing like marriage. You are not only preparing to meet a partner, but to become a better individual, capable of building a healthy and balanced relationship. And it is in this inner preparation that true wisdom resides. When you understand and accept these teachings, you will be more likely to recognize the partner who is truly right for you, the one with whom you can grow spiritually and humanly. 5. Allah tests your patience and trust in Him. One of the greatest tests Allah sends us in this life is that of patience. This is especially true when it comes to finding your kingdom spouse, that person who will accompany you in this life and beyond. If you feel that the wait is endless, if you go through moments of doubt where you wonder why this marriage is taking so long to manifest, it may be Allah who is testing your patience and your trust in Him. In marriage, as in all other important relationships, patience is not a mere act of passive waiting, but an active practice of trust in Allah. Just because you haven't found that person yet is not a sign of failure or abandonment. It is a call to place all your worries in the hands of Allah, to trust Him completely, to accept that His plan for you is perfect, and that He is preparing you for this great union at the most appropriate time. Waiting itself is a form of purification. Allah wants to know if you are capable of placing your complete trust in Him, even in times when you do not understand the reason for this long wait. He knows that sometimes, in our impatience, we seek to take matters into our own hands, to rush events, to force situations. But Allah is testing you. Are you able to remain calm, turn to Him, and submit to His will without rebellion? This expectation is an invitation to strengthen your total reliance on Allah, to accept that your destiny is already traced in His divine book. This test, as difficult as it may seem, is actually a blessing in disguise. He is not here to punish you, but to purify you. Every moment spent in waiting is a time when Allah purifies your soul, removing doubts, fears, and hesitations. You become stronger, more resilient, and ready to receive what you deserve. In this purification, Allah prepares you for a strong and balanced relationship with a pure heart and strengthened faith. When you go through these times of uncertainty, remember that patience is one of the finest qualities that Allah cherishes in His servants. The test is in waiting, but Allah knows exactly when the time will be right for you to meet the person who is meant for you. And that time will come, not a day too soon nor too late, but exactly when you are most ready to receive this divine gift. Now that you've explored these signs, remember that every step of your journey to becoming your kingdom spouse is an opportunity to grow spiritually and emotionally. Allah guides you at every moment, even if it is not always evident. Be patient, be confident, and know that your destiny is perfectly in His hands. If you feel ready to welcome the blessing of marriage, take the first step. Pray, be patient, and stay open to signs may Allah send you. Share this video with those who need it, and together let us continue this spiritual quest to find love and harmony in the divine plan.